It me, da Doom. Welcome to the hall.
Welcome back, Wargamers, to my second day of the Nova Open 2017 Journey Vlog. So this is the first day of the GT, but first we will be going to the seminar by the given by the amazing Adam Droke. I was actually talking to him last night, and he's a great dude. So, what's really cool is we'll be doing that, and this actually hasn't been done outside of England before, these seminars, so that'll be really cool to have it here. And then there will be the painting competition, then they'll start game one. I'll come back either before game one or after game one. Until then, enjoy. So after game one on the GT, I was paired against a Numenor army, and we had a really close game actually. He pretty much tried to get himself broken so that he would have some of the objectives and then only 25% of people left. And he was currently holding 1 and 2 objectives on my side and 2 objectives on his side, and had less models in the middle. But in the last turn I was able to kill models, or one model ran away coming towards one of the objectives, so one of my dwarves got on it on my side. One of his models on one of his objectives ran, and one of his models that was holding one of the objectives on my side, Dane got into, and a spear support got into, killed him, claimed that objective. In the middle, Thorin failed heroic combat. He won the fight, killed one of the guys, but then with 6 dice, because he had 4 dice left, and then a spear support, failed to kill a shieldman, and thus I wasn't able to charge his captain and clean out that one, so I only had more models, and I broke him. So
I'm at table 3.
he did manage to kill Galadriel, but pretty much I did manage to win that battle 6-2, so I'm on a major win. So that's 4 out of 4 right now that you could get. 6 victory points, and I found out that though the tournament ranking is tournament points, then tiebreaker victory points, when you rank for what table you play on, it's victory points. So actually someone could very easily get second by just constantly getting a low amount of victory points, but still getting enough to get a major win. And thus that way actually end up with second because they have max tournament points, but not as many victory points as someone else who's on max tournament points may be. So that's actually a really interesting way it works. But yeah, so that's how it works, and I'm still going to go all in it and not try that strategy of just lowballing it, because you can fail that way, and obviously, you know, you can't beat anyone else who's got higher VP. So I'm gonna put everything in it I can. I'll see you after the second game. So in Lords of Battle, I ended up playing Benedict from Canada, which we had met last year at Nova, and we're friends from that. But he was playing in our North Force. It was Lords of Battle. So we were charging. We both killed one through shooting. The charges were pretty average. You know, neither side really seemed to have an advantage. And then he rolled crazily well for his Malbus saves. He probably saved over 20 wounds, and as he put it, at least, after I said, you probably saved like 20 wounds. So it was brutal from there. I kept rolling 1 die score lower than I needed to. My heroes kept rolling 5 highest, and then he'd get the 6. So it was really a case of bad die rolls. So yeah, it's always frustrating when that happens because it's completely out of your control, but it is part of wargaming. And see, I'll be going into round 3, and I'll see what I can do there. So welcome back. After game 3, I actually played a very wonderfully themed Corsair and Umbar force. Fortunately, the Corsair Reavers did not have axes due to the Nova rules pack that you have to have the weapons on the model, and the Corsair Reavers, in their case, the weapon closest to their model, so it had to be swords. So that was very fortunate. And I played a great guy named Rob, and he had the army, and pretty much we were shooting our crossbows at each other, but then he was bringing his force forward, and I managed to shoot down a half-troll and one of his Haradmen, one of his Reavers, and once I shot down that, so just a few casualties, before the lines hit. But once the lines hit, things started ramping up. And Dane charged in, Thorn charged in. Actually, the first turn combat was just one combat between one Reaver, who beat a dwarf and a support, but didn't wound. And then Dane went in, Thorn went in. He wasn't able to really outflank me because Dane and Thorn did a lot of work. It was the Fog of War scenario, so I had selected... I guess I should go back to what the scenario is, but the Fog of War scenario, you have secret objectives, so my hero I had to protect was Galadriel, which at one point the Umbar did 2 wounds to her and I had to pass both their fate. First I failed them, but the reroll route allowed me to continue on, so, and not lose that. But Galadriel was the hero I was protecting. The hero I wanted to kill was his Corsair Bosun. And the terrain piece I wanted to get at was Ruins of Osgiliath Stair, that was on pretty much the other side of the board from where I was. And so after that, I was able to cut through his guys pretty quickly, kill the Bosun. Thorn took some damage. His objectives were Ruin of Osgiliath full piece, which he later got with his Knight of Umbar, and kill Thorn, which he did end up wounding Thorn when he failed his combat against Dalmir. I think he killed him Dalmir the next turn, though. But yeah, his hero he wanted to protect was Dalmir, and I ended up breaking him, and there was a point where I started bashing with Dane, even though he had charged, and all my guys that could shield were shielding, and I tried to charge all the guys I could to keep him from being 25%ed so I could get my dwarves in, and just when I got them in just the right turn so that when he was 25%ed, some guys ran away, I got onto the piece of terrain I wanted, and then I killed as many guys as I could. He still had like 2 or 3 guys left on the board at the end, and the Knight of Umbar. So I ended up winning 12-4, so that's a major win. So that leaves me with 8 tournament points and 18 victory points after the first 3 games on the first day. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, which will be Hold Ground, and I'll come back after that. So I played the 4th game, Hold Ground. I played against Dan from the Lord of the Rings Battles YouTube channel, so that was pretty cool. We started going at each other. He had his Horde Gondor. He ended up spending 3 might on Kyrian to bring him on properly, 1 on Boromir. I had to spend 2 on Galadriel. So when we moved them in, then we clashed after a while, a little bit of shooting. We both killed 1 guy with our shooting. And I ended up charging into... Our heroes were fighting, and our troops were just grinding. And I eventually killed his heroes and Faramir in the last turn, but I just couldn't kill enough, so I lost 3-2. So I still got 1 tournament point for a minor loss, but since I lost only by 4 more models within the objective, if I had a few more to wound rolls that went off, or 1 more turn because it timed out, that would have won me the game. So a bit disappointed at that, so I'm going into the 5th game. Hopefully I can get a major win here, because I'd really like that to push me back up, but I'll tell you how the 5th game works. So welcome back. This is after game 5. I ended up losing 12-0 when I thought I would win at turn like 4. Pretty much what happened is I made a mistake with Galadriel. He had 2 Fell Beasts and Harad. I really thought I was going to win. Galadriel had fortified Dane and Thorin. They were like 2 turns away with a march from throwing the jewel away. He hadn't charged him. But Galadriel moved forward. She got sap-willed, transfixed, or compelled, and a bunch of guys got him, killed him, and then my heroes went down quickly to compels and transfixes. So yeah, I actually play against a subscriber. So Rainer,
yeah,
what do you think of that game?
I thought it was a good game. At first I was horribly terrified about it because he had Galadriel and a big dwarf army, so my main objective is usually to shoot people out. I could not do that. King Banzai came at me. It was miraculous that I was able to kill Galadriel, and I guess I contribute my victory to that, because after I killed Galadriel, it was able to free up my ring race without having the fear of being banished. so they were able to shut down Thorn and Dane Ironfoot.
Yeah, well, it was more simply that when she died, Thorn and Dane Ironfoot could be shut down, because otherwise they really couldn't have, so it was really when you killed Galadriel that you pretty much won the game in that one fell swoop.
Very true, and I believe if the game would have gone 2 more rounds without me of killing Galadriel, King Bonsai would have won it quite easily by throwing the token into it. Because what was the...
I could have probably even done 1 more round, because I would have moved in the next turn if you didn't compel me.
True.
Then I would have moved in. I would have had 3 will if I touched the next turn. So I would have had 3 will, 2 might, so I probably would have resisted.
Been able to do it, yeah.
And and if Galadriel lasted 3 turns, I definitely would have been able to do it. So.
Yes, so I contribute, I guess, like, I won basically based off those two rounds.
Really, that the 1 round where you charged Galadriel, I'd really say that.
And then I killed her because also my Watchers of Karna had a 2+ to charging terrifying people, so they got to get into it.
Yeah, so I did decently well considering that I just got wraithed and shut down like I wasn't expecting to.
Yeah, and it wasn't a total shutdown. I believe we both learned a lot from this round on what to do and what not to do.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's my only contribution to this podcast.
Okay, well, thank you. And
yeah, have fun. It was glad to
see you later.
See you later.
That was the Nova Open Singles GT. So, unfortunately, I placed bottom half, which isn't as well as I want to do, but I will definitely be working on getting better and coming back stronger. So until then, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Support your Hobbit hobby, and Akman Ruki Astu. Thank you.